Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, I've just sent off another calendar order and some stickers. Yes, I have stickers, they're back, they're on my store. There's a few calendars left, not many. It's now really slowed down in sales, so might be the last 4, might not be, depends if people suddenly want them right before Christmas. But anyway, today's video, I'm going to go to the beach, because I went to the beach yesterday, and audio issues. Basically my mic broke. My mic is a bit of a weird combination of 2 things that I've soldered together, and we're talking micro soldering. It's very, very tiny little cables, but it works great until it breaks. So I lost this beach video I did yesterday, which was awesome. I found so much stuff. I've got all the video, it's just got no audio. And it was sunny and it was nice, and now it's raining and it's horrible, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to have another look. Well, it definitely smells pretty stinky, so I'm imagining there's a good amount of stuff on the beach. Well, there's just about as much stuff as there was here yesterday. So let's start over here. Oh my god, it's exactly as I left it yesterday. And hang on a minute, another claw's appeared. Someone's given him another claw. Okay, so this is a spider crab. And as you can see, yesterday I put this shore crab on it to give you a size comparison. As you can see, this is it's a pretty big beast. Although this claw's appeared from somewhere, and this doesn't belong to it. But, you know, well, he's got more limbs now. This is quite a big spider crab, but they do definitely get bigger than this. I'd say this is this unfortunate shore crab that's probably just been tumbled to death, same as this. They normally be a bit deeper down, but yeah. Oh god, your leg's falling off now. But as you can see, through its other claw attached here, got these mouth parts. And then that flap is where all its gonads are kept, depending if it's male or female. They also keep their, eggs under there, some species. Anyway, continuing on. I know there's going to be lots of stuff here, so let's just keep... wow. Okay, you see that? That's got spikes all over it. That is almost definitely a thorny ray tail. Has that been eaten, or has that been... That's been eaten by... You get these weird mollusk things that eat old ships. I'm keeping that, that's really cool. Okay, so the story with this piece of wood doesn't actually end there, because when I got home, it was only a short while later, I noticed there was still a mollusk inside, and I thought, oh crap, it's alive, I'm going to have to go back down the beach. So I broke the piece of wood open, gave it a tap, it was open, as in the shell was open, and it didn't react. That means it's dead. And the other little one that was inside, you can see, that was also dead. But it was very interesting to see the actual mollusk that causes these boreholes. Normally they don't bore holes into wood, but if they find pieces of old waterlogged wood at the bottom of the sea, they will use it. Evidently, as we see, we've got them here. And these are common piddocks, not pillocks, piddocks. And it gets even more interesting because when I was like, oh, I'm doing this video, I better take a picture of this to show people more close up, because this is an interesting thing. I've never seen this before. I've seen stuff with holes in it, but never actually seen the thing inside. And I took a picture of it and then was like, what's that? It looks like a crab. And then noticed there was a crab inside. This thing is tiny. I'm not entirely sure what species it is. I'm not sure if it is a small, like a baby one of a larger species, or whether it actually is what it is. I've looked through the books. I don't really know. But it's just very interesting to find this. So there you go. Simple piece of wood was far more interesting than I realised. We'll wander this strand line and see what new things we can find. Because there's obviously been a lot more washed up since yesterday. So we got a starfish. This one's quite old because it's already started to go funny colour. It's definitely dead. All these little leggies. Oh yeah, and also yesterday I was talking about how the sea sort things. There's the under flap of another type of crab. I'm not sure what one. Under flap. I was talking about how the sea sorts things. If you notice, there's like this coloured band of slightly different colour things, and what it actually is just loads and loads of different types of shells. Like, you've got these ones which are like hermit crab shells, and there's loads of those. You've got these which are slipper limpets. Got different types of little clams. There's a load of slip Olympics that are still alive, stuck to each other. There's sea squirts, of course. Oh, there's an urchin. Well, ew! Yeah, that's an urchin. You can see it's got 5 segments. It's related to starfish. And that's the inside of it. People eat those. Not me, though. While we're on about starfish and the other starfish, I found a tiny one yesterday. Look at it! It's too cute! There's another type of shell. These like bivalve type things. They bivalves? I think they are. Now, something I did find yesterday, a few of, and I hope I find more, are sea mice. Yes, the sea mice are back. There's one. Hold on. Are you alive or are you dead? This is basically a type of worm. And I was talking about these filaments on the side of its body. Focus! Focus. They basically produce colours, I think in the same way that a butterfly's wing does. The way colour works is, say you have a material which is red. What it means is it absorbs all light frequencies other than the red light and only reflects the red. And that's how a red thing looks red, and something that only reflects blue looks blue, etc, etc. There's an urchin which isn't damaged. But I don't think it's very well. So yeah, can you see how that's got 5 segments to its body, the same as a starfish? Same deal. Same sort of family. And a butterfly gets its colour by changing the texture of its wings. Something looks iridescent bright blue. If you then put some alcohol on it, I think that's what they do, it turns brown, and you can't see it until it dries back out and then the blue comes back. It's because it changes the way that it reflects the light. And the filaments on the side of the sea mouse have been studied, because they're so colourful, to possibly use in advancing technology for phone screens and LCDs and stuff like that. If you could make something change its texture, it could change its colour at probably faster rates and much more, what's the word? More accurate, more... I can't think of the word, but it basically means it's a truer representation. Oh, sorry, I said the shells are from hermit crabs. They're not from hermit crabs. I don't mean that. They are a type of whelk, I think, basically. And when the whelk dies, hermit crabs take the shells. So although it is a hermit crab shell, it's not made by the hermit crab, it's a thief. There wasn't so much of this green weed yesterday. Seaweed, don't come down here, roll it and smoke it. So I'm thinking this is fresher. Need I say any more? I told you, don't. And is this their munchies? One shellfish I did find yesterday. I didn't know what it was when I found it, and I kept it and took it home. And it turns out it is a prickly cockle. Get a lot bigger than common cockles. You know what common cockles are, the ones that people eat. Yesterday there was quite a lot of stuff dumped along the front edge, but it's all been pushed further up here. Because what happens is, depending on which way the tide's coming, is you see the waves are sort of coming in at an angle, so they hit up there, they break over there, and then if you watch, it goes break, 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 all the way along. So that just pushes everything up and along, so it constantly like wax on, and it pushes everything up into this corner. Even all the shells that were here yesterday have moved. I was saying about how the sea sorts things by I don't know, did I say it properly or not? I'll say it again. I talked about this in yesterday's video. The density, the way that the sea sorts things by density and deposits them in the same places, and that's where you get all the shellfish in one bit and then you get all the weed in a slightly different bit, but it doesn't seem to always work like that, because further up that way, where it's all collected, it's mixed up now. If I suddenly stop talking and my head rolls off, it's because one of these wires is caught around my neck and chopped it off. Not found a single mantis shrimp yet, I will note. People from the old videos will know what mantis shrimps are. Well, some of you know what mantis shrimps are. We don't have the giant ones, but we have pretty big ones. But they don't have the hammer claws, they have the spiky claws. I'm not even going to show you that close up, too close up. That is a dead sea urchin. They look like prolapse buttholes when they're dead. Oh god, the temptation's too strong. Not going over there. What? What?
Car park's closed. There's only parking here, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to park in there.
Sorry?
I was going to park in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is road closed there.
You wouldn't believe how many people have tried to get by.
Oh, no worries. I wasn't going to drive straight through him. Well, this beach has got the weed, but it doesn't have anything else. And it is being pulled apart, as you can see. Well, that will be a hinge off of one of these beach huts that got destroyed a couple of years ago, most likely. And they are bolts that are used to hold the groins together. Car's been bent. Okay, well, I've got time to go and look at one more beach, so that is what we're going to do. While we're on the way, I'll give you a little update about this job I took on. I'm not going to say too much, but it is subcontracted. It's only part-time and occasional, so it's like when the work's there. Could be a couple of days a week, could be a week or two with nothing. You know, it's extra days of work, but it's also very, very interesting. It's mechanical in nature and it's on boats. That's all I'll say. And that's not me getting on boats and doing work on boats. I'm doing it on things that have been taken off of boats. So it's kind of a culmination of everything that I've ever done in a way, because, you know, as I was young, I was brought up on boats. I know about boats, I know terminology, and I'm mechanically minded because I was always taught to be, because, well, we worked on everything. I've done hundreds of hours of work on my family's boats. Mostly sanding, admittedly. As I say, because I've worked on boats and I've worked on bikes and I've worked on anything, all sorts of things that are mechanical, and it's just something that I'm really interested in. And of course, also the skills I learned with the metalworks, or at least getting really good at doing some of these things, has meant that it all culminated to me being the perfect sort of candidate for this work. And because of its subcontracted, occasional structure, it's also great for someone like me, because I can just take a day here, take a few days there, whatever, and then return to my own stuff. And equally it's great for them, because they don't have a full-time position to amount of work to employ someone, but they do need someone they can call in. I've done my first 2 days with them. The first day I basically observed what was being done, and the next day I applied the same, what I'd seen being done to doing one myself. And other than just checking a couple of small things, make sure I wasn't about to screw it up, because these things I'm working on are super expensive. Like, I really cannot mess something up. And of course, because it comes from a boat, everything on them wants to seize and break and snap, and it's a bit of a skill to have what I always call the mechanical sympathy to know whether you're going to snap something. When if you're trying to undo a bolt, for instance, you don't just go straight up to it and try and smash it off. What you want to do is, WD-40 or something, give it a little bit of a wiggle. Sometimes it's even good to give them a slight tighten, then you just need to break that little crack at first. Oh god, it's rainier over here. We'll make this super short. This is the speed round. Jesus, I can't see anything either way. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I won't say too much about it, because, I do keep some of my life private, as it were. It'd be wrong not to. Oh, it's got a bit of a wonk to it. Drawing giant penises in the sand is something that will never grow old for me. On the bottom end of the island, everything's being washed out of the seabed and slowly brought up onto the beach and dumped on the beach. Here, it would have to come around a corner or come out of here, and this is way deeper, like way, way deeper. Whoosh, whoosh. Oh, it's a good whip. Whoosh. It's not such a good whip. And, oh yeah, earlier on I was talking about how the sea sorts things. Look at this. Notice how all of this, pretty much, just ignore those stones, are slipper limpet shells. This is a naturally occurring thing, because you get the lighter things end up further. So the lightest stuff is up at the top. So obviously a big heavy stone down there is going to get lift off a bit, or roll back down. Lift up a bit, roll back down. The light stuff gets flinged. So the sea sorts stuff. Well, nothing really. I've always been tempted to get a metal detector someday. You know, do a little bit of metal detectoring, see what we can find. I'm not really interested in finding valuable things necessarily, I just like to find interesting things. But I've just never really got around to getting one. Also complicates matters because you need to get one that's capable of searching in in wet sand, because apparently wet sand has very different makeup and response, so it can confuse some metal detectors quite badly. Equally, it's a little dodgy around here because there is so much stuff from World War II, like bombs, mines, bullets, everything you can think of gets found on these beaches regularly because it's all out there. I can guarantee you now, in that piece of sea that we're looking at, there are at least a couple of unexploded bombs or old sea mines or something buried in the mud. And after a storm, they get churned up and they get rolled up onto the beaches, and then people find them. The reason why it's here is because this is right next to Portsmouth. Right, this is Portsmouth. This is Hayling, where I live. So what they did in the war, Second World War, is they turned all these lights off. They put some fake lights here, and I think they also did some stuff on Hayling, or it was nearby, so people got confused. And the Germans bombed the shit out of that bit and didn't get Portsmouth. Well, actually they did, because they bombed the living crap out of Portsmouth, but it was a distraction method. Oh god, as I've walked towards this, I've just realised what I've done. Subscribe, like the video for drawing giant penises in the sand like a 5-year-old. Okay then, well, as I say, thanks for the support. There are a few new items in my store, you'll notice. The F1 clock is still available. Everything else sold overnight, but that F1 clock's still waiting there. I know there's a few people that are kind of like, I might, they've been telling me. But whatever, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video and the other content on the channel, please consider following the links in the description to show your support.